I came in a bit late. It's quite unfortunate, the kind of country we are. You really can't predict what you really can't predict what it's to be expected next. I was about coming into the class when there was an interruption with power supply, so I had to quickly go use the gen. So that is why I'm a bit late, and I apologize for that. So sorry about that. So I believe this is clear enough. My camera is all good. Okay. So today I didn't want us to dwell so much on each tutorials we're having tonight. It's gonna be a long night. About 3 tutorials back to back. Okay. Oh, so sorry everyone, Mr. Jolas. Okay, Mr. Jolas said hello. Ms. Rejoice, Amaka, we are waiting. Sorry for keeping you waiting. Mr. Joseph said hi. Miss Justina said good evening. Uh, Miss Rejoice said good evening everyone again. And we have Oluwa Tobiloba Ruth. Miss Tobiloba said hello everyone. We have Blessing on size. We have Mr. Daniel. We have Cryptolus or Cryptolinus 26, and we have Oluwam Damlola and Think It. So sorry for keeping everybody waiting. So without further ado, I'm just gonna go straight to what I have here. So we actually did a lot in our previous class on CSS121. We actually, I believe we all can see the board. We can see. Okay, let me check from here. Awesome, yeah, it's clear enough. So we really did ourselves well in our last class. So today, uh, first in the first quarter of this tutorial, it's going to be more of points, because I want us to move at a very fast pace. I don't want to spend more than 30 minutes in this tutorial. Yeah, Mr. David, it's good to have you join us. I don't want to spend more than 30 minutes in this tutorial so it doesn't affect the next one. So it's going to be more of points. So I need you to pay attention, and I need us to pay attention and have our writing materials ready. The very first quarter of this tutorial will be more of points. So the very first point I'm giving today is coming from what we call the clinical psychologist. Now, the clinical psychologists are specialized in the treatment of those with behavioral problems and mental illness. Clinical psychologists. Clinical psychologists were specialized in treating people with illnesses, mental illnesses. People with mental illness, they are specialized in treating them. That is what the clinical psychologists are responsible for. That is what they are specialized in doing. So we have the psychology that involves in the application of psychology to improve the quality of work life, to protect and promote safety, health, and well-being are called the occupational health psychologist. Occupational health psychologist to occupational health psychologists. Okay, when are we taken philosophy. Okay, Mr. Darlington. Okay, I really want to know if you have my WhatsApp. How did you get the link to this stream? Please let me know so I can know how to reach out to you, because we actually have a classroom, and it's actually what students. I'm not in 100 level and I'm not writing the exam. I'm done with my program. I'm actually writing my project. So it is what student says that I go with. So whenever they agree on like today now, this is going to be our last class on this course, and it's going to be our last class on GST 1032 today. So anything they didn't fit that we should treat next is what we go into. So let me just know where you got to the stream from. Is it from the class? So we can know how to communicate it to when we are doing the philosophy. So we have occupational health psychologists. They involved in the application of psychology to improve quality of work life. Improve quality of work life, comma, improve quality of work life, protect and promote safety, health, and well-being of worker. Health and well-being of workers. So whenever you hear occupational health psychologists, that is what they are specialized in doing. They are specialized in improving the quality work life, health, and well-being of worker. They improve the quality work life. They promote health and well-being of workers. That is what the occupational health psychologists are specialized in doing. So we have the next one. We have the psychology. We have here what type of psychology is responsible, or concerned essentially with the direction of family care programs and programs in child guidance and rehabilitation center. Now, the kind of psychology that is responsible for the direction. Okay, you got it from YouTube. Okay, after this class, just at the end of this stream, request for my number. Make sure it's at the end of the stream, because in between the stream I might not get it, but at the end of the stream, make sure you request for my number so I can send my WhatsApp number to you. Then we can communicate on WhatsApp, and I can add you to the class. Are you a student of public admin or business administration? So we have community. That's a community psychology. Community. Now let me make something clear to us. Whether clinical psychology or clinical psychologist. We want to talk about clinical psychology. Clinical psychology is the act, while clinical psychologist is the individual. When we talk about occupational health psychology, is the act, the process, the means of doing what they do. But when we talk about psychologists now, occupational health psychologist, it's the individual that does what is expected as improving quality of work life and health. So we have the entity and the individual. When we talk about the entity, we are talking about the psychology. When we talk about the psychologist, we are talking about the individual. So we have that as that. So we have community psychologist, community psychology, or any way you want to put it, community psychology. Community psychology is concerned with directing of family. Okay, that is concerned with direction of family care programs, direction of family care programs, child guidance and rehabilitation center. Okay, family care programs, direction of family care programs, rehabilitation. They are concerned with family care programs, rehabilitations, and child guidance. Guidance. So that's what the community psychologist is concerned with. So we have that as that. So let's move on. So we have forensic psychologist, forensic, okay, Miss Blessing Osai, it's great to have you join us. Forensic psychologist. Now, from the word forensic, it has to do with crime. Anything forensic, it has to do with crime, investigation, and trail. So now, forensic psychology, they are concerned with the area of crime and legal system. Area of crime and legal system. Forensic psychology are concerned with the area of crime and legal system. So we've been able to talk about 4 types of psychologists now. The clinical psychologists and the psychologists that are major. They major in treating of individuals with mental illness, while the occupational health psychology major in the promotion and improving of work-life health and well-being of workers. And we have the community psychology that are major in facilitating programs, introducing programs for family care, rehabilitation, and child guidance. And we have the forensic psychologists. Forensic psychologists are very particular. They are specialized. They are the major in the area of crime and legal system. So we have that as that. So let's just move on. Now, psychology of politics. So we have psychology of politics. Psychology of politics deals with the study of organization of people in conflict. Now, let me tell you something. Wherever people gather, there's always conflicts. Take it or leave it. Wherever people occupies a definite territory or occupies a geographical territory, there is something called conflict. It is constant. It happens. Now, the psychology of politics now deals with the study of organizations of people in conflict. So wherever people have conflict, occupied in a place or a certain geographical area, now the psychology of politics deals with the organizing of people in politics. Psychology of politics deals with the study of organization of people in conflict. Study of organization of people in conflict. So we have that as that. We have about 14 persons streaming this live, and we have just 6 likes. Please, let's do well to smash the like button. So we have that as that. Let's move on. So this permits me to erase. I have my timer here and I'm really okay. Permits me to erase. Okay, so we have now the first. Okay, Mr. Zako, please, I'm late. We are not going by model, Mr. Zako. This is revision, so we are touching everywhere in the material. This is revision, so we are not going by the material, Mr. Zako. Okay, Miss Patience, it's great to have you join us. So now we have, it is believed that the first person to revive the profession of philosophical counseling is who? Now, Gerard Achenbach. Gerard Achenbach. Gerard Achenbach. Gerard Achenbach here is believed to have being the first to revive the profession of philosophical counseling. First to revive the profession we refer to as philosophical counseling. Gerard Achenbach here is believed to be the first to revive the profession philosophical counseling. So we have that as that. So we also have now the verification of hypothesis means the testing of workability or solubility of the acceptable hypothesis. Now when we talk about hypothesis, what do we refer to as hypothesis? Let me just see question 6. Question 7. Hypothesis. When we talk about please make it bold. I'll make it bold. Should make it bold. All right. Now, when we talk about hypothesis, what do we understand? What do we mean by hypothesis? Now, hypothesis is said to be the verification. I'm bringing out the keyword verification and testing the workability. When you see verification and testing the workability and or let me use the word or workability or solubility We'll talk about the workability, the testing and validating of the workability or solubility of an accepted theory. Now, you know, when you are at the level of hypothesis, your guess is still under test. So not until your guess and your hypothesis has been tested, has gone through all the required processes, and it has been tested, just like we have it in government before in the making of a law. In the very first step in the making of a law is to having a bill. It comes in form of a bill. Then if it has gone through a law, it has gone through all the readings that it's supposed to go through, then it can become a law. So before you can have your hypothesis become a theory, the reason why we are even having an hypothesis in the first place is because you want to create a solution to a problem which has to become a theory. When the solubility and the workability and everything has been tested, then it becomes a theory. But during this process of verification and testing, the workability and solubility is referred to as hypothesis. So these are the key words: verification and testing of the workability and the solubility. So we have that as that. So we have also experiments are carried out by psychologists to test certain ideas. So experiment has to be carried out by psychologists to test certain ideas. If experiments are not done, certain ideas will not be accepted. So we have that as that. Now, the importance of general ability was wrongly questioned in the country USA. In the country USA, the importance of general ability was strongly questioned in the USA. Let's take that down as well. Okay, now the type of environment and interaction will shape and determine a child's intelligence. The type of intelligence, Intelligence. Now, speaking of intelligence, the environment which a child grows will definitely, the environment and the interaction a child goes through while growing up will definitely determine intelligence. Environment, environment, and interaction. The type of environment and the type of interaction a child goes through while growing up will definitely shape his or her intelligence. So we have that as that. Okay, so we have also, now when we refer to an intelligent person, we mean only that someone who is at the upper end of this distribution of IQ score. Okay, now when we talk about somebody is intelligent, that means the person IQ is at the upper end of the distribution of scores. So we have that as that. Now, a creative is another point. A creative person by definition a creative person by definition are much rarer, are much rarer individuals than individuals. Are much rarer individuals than the intelligent person, than the intelligent person. Okay, so as we have it here, a creative person, all these things are under what we call intelligence quotient, which is IQ. When we talk about a creative person, by definition, they are rarer individuals. It doesn't just take intelligence to be creative, it takes more than intelligence to be creative. So we have creative people by definition are much rarer individuals than intelligent person. Okay, I think we are actually, okay, let me check my time. I think we are actually out of time. So I'm going to throw this question at us. Should we proceed with the class and readjust and shift one of the class to the next tutorial, or should we just close the curtain on this? I'll leave that for us to respond. It seems as if 30 minutes is not going to be enough, and I'd love us to make the class an interactive section. So should we just stop this class now and call it a wrap, or we should just go through everything and finish it today, and let's shift the second class? Okay, I'm getting some responses already, but okay, if we are to, now we have GST 103 and we have MTH. Should we just shift GST 103 and observe MTH 105 by 10? This is 840. So we should just shift GST 103 to the next tutorial, the next time we have a tutorial, and we can just observe CSS, and let's know that we are done with CSS. Okay, let's shift. I think majority agrees that we should shift GST 103. So let's shift GST 103. So let's just continue with this then. Now we have intelligence means Now, intelligence means the reasoning ability of individuals. Intelligence, the reasoning ability. Okay, 11. Intelligence. Okay, please just give me a moment. I'll be back. So if I don't know, I'll first see you. Okay, so we're back. Just sorry about that. It's a call of duty from my neighbors. Okay, now so we have intelligence. Where was I? Intelligence. Okay, intelligence means the reasoning ability to reasoning ability of an individual. Reasoning ability of an individual. Bros, you want to buy the... Okay, I will give you my 2K, add my own 2K so that it will make sense. Okay. I will give you my 2K this night. Alright. Okay, so we have intelligence means the reasoning ability, sorry for the break, the reasoning ability of an individual. So we also have the same intelligence can be referred as a cluster of psychological traits. Now, this intelligence, I want us to pay attention to it. This particular word can come out in different ways. It can come out, questions under IQ can pop out. Questions under this particular course, CSS121, is one course I am expecting nothing less than B from everyone on this live stream. The least I'm expecting from everyone on this stream on this course, CSS121, is a B, because it's one interesting course that you can pass easily. Very interesting course you can pass easily. Now, intelligence means the reasoning ability of an individual. Now, this same intelligence can still be referred to as the cluster of psychological traits. Cluster intelligence can be referred to as the cluster of psychological traits. So you can call, the question can come as dash means the reasoning ability. Dash means the reasoning ability of an individual. The answer is intelligence. It can as well come as dash can be referred to as the cluster of psychological traits. Is still the same thing as intelligence. So we have that as that. Okay, so let's move on. Now, it says here, people act intelligently when they learn from the past experience. People act intelligently when they learn from past experience, meaning that you become more intelligent. Now, talking about past experience, you can actually get intelligent through reading books, and reading books is books actually, it is said that books are actually one way brilliant mind pour out their mind to us. So from experience, from what they've gone through, from what they've witnessed, or from what they know, you get to know. So now talking about intelligence now is still one way whereby you learn from the past experiences. So we have that is the result obtained when an individual, now when an individual MA, talking about MA, if Mr. Joseph should be able to give us an answer to this. If Mr. Jonas was here as well, when we talk about MA, when we talk about MA, we also talk about BA or CA. They all have a meaning. MA stands for, or is anybody wants to help? When we talk about MA, what does it mean? Under intelligent conscience. When we talk about MA, what does it mean? When we talk about CA, what does it mean? When we talk about BA, what does all this acronym means? So okay, so we have now when we talk about IQ, now IQ is said to be the results obtained. Yes, Miss Patience, thank you. I think you were in the class that day we were treating this. MA, CA, and BA. MA means yes, very correct. So now, talking about IQ, we say is the result obtained when an individual's MA is divided by CA and multiplied by 100. Now, when an individual MA is divided by CA or BA, then multiply by 100. You are doing calculation in tutor psychology. Yes, that is what IQ is. Okay, let me check the chat. Let me check our chat and let me see if people have said something about what MA and BA is. Awesome. Yes, thank you, Miss Blessing. CA is chronological age. Yes, thank you. Okay, thank you for that, Miss Blessing. Mr. Jolas, yes, thank you. Mr. Jolas said MA is mental age. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So what about BA? Okay, BA. Is anybody helping us with that? Okay, oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. So now, IQ is said to be an individual MA, that's mental age, is divided by CA, which is the chronological age, multiply chronological age or biological age, multiply by 100, then you get your IQ. So we have that as that. Now, Alfred Brinett, the name Alfred Brinett he was credited with the first successful attempt to measure intelligence. First success to measure intelligence. First success to measure intelligence. Alfred Brinett is credited with the first success to measure intelligence. Please, let's take note of all these points. They are very, very important. Okay, so we have now an average MA, an average mental ability, an average mental age Okay, full meaning of IQ. IQ is intelligent quotient. Intelligence quotient. Mr. Joseph, IQ is intelligence quotient. I believe I've answered your question. Intelligence quotient is the full meaning of IQ. Okay, so we have that as that. So let me just write it on the board. Full meaning of IQ 15. IQ means intelligence quotient. Intelligence quotient. I believe you can see that clearly. Intelligence quotient. That's the full meaning of IQ. So we have that as that. Now, when we talk about mental age, it's said to be the level of intellectual development. Level of intellectual development. Talk about MA. MA is mental age. Age, it's referred to as the level of intellectual development. Intellectual development. MA, mental age, referred to as level of intellectual development. So so we are entering into the second quartile of this tutorial, whereby students will answer questions. Okay, we have about 17 persons streaming this live. Why are you people stingy with likes? Why are people stingy with smashing the like button? If you are here to smash the like button, please do well to smash the like button. Okay, so now we are in the second quarter of this tutorial, where students will be required to respond to questions. So we have, okay, now let me quickly tell us this one. Now, if an individual MA is below, if an individual MA is below his or her CA, below his or her CA. Now, is this individual dull or intelligence? Intelligence. Is this individual dull or intelligent? That's a question for us to answer. If an individual MA mental age is below his biological or chronological age, do we refer to this individual as intelligent or dull? I don't want us to spend much time on responding, please. I want the answer to be coming in, the response. So thank you very much, Mr. Jolas. Thank you for that quick response. That is how I want it to be coming in this night. I want our responses to be coming in very fast. And I need every one of us to respond, please. I need every one of us to respond, please. Okay, yeah, I'm getting the responses. Okay. Every one of us, I need our response, please. Okay, Miss Blessing, Mr. Joseph, Miss Patience. Question again. If an individual MA, if an individual mental ability is below chronological age or biological age, such an individual is such an individual dull or intelligent? Okay, yes, I think we are good to go. So dull is the correct answer. Yes, dull is the correct answer. Your NA should never be below your age. It's just like saying your intelligence, your level of comprehension is below your age. You are dull. So even though it is better for your mental age to be above your chronological age, that is best, or at most let it be equal. So we have that as that. Then we move on. Now, intelligent test measures consist of 120 different abilities. Intelligent tests consists of 120 different abilities. So we have that as that. Now, intelligent quotient reflects the extent to which a child is mentally advanced or backward for his age. Intelligent quotient reflects the extent to which a child is mentally advanced or backward. Now, people differs greatly in intelligence, aptitude, physical strength, mutual dexterity, knowledge, skills, and interest. That's a point telling us that people differ greatly in intelligence, aptitude, and a lot of characteristics. Okay, we have diverger is the opposite of converger. Diverger is the opposite of converger. So let's take that point down. Diverger is the opposite of converger. And it is said that converger is better at sustaining intelligent tests compared to the open-ended tests. Now it is said here IQ would be equal to 100 if mental age exactly match chronological age. An individual, okay, come again. She said I should come again. Diverger is the opposite of converger, and it is as well said that the converger is better in sustainability at intelligent tests compared to the open-ended tests. Converger is better at sustainability at intelligent tests compared to the open-ended tests. Okay, now we have IQ would be equal to 100 if the mental age exactly match chronological age. So IQ equals 100 if MA, okay, we'll get to that, if MA equals CA. So we have that as that. So we have that as that. IQ equals 100 if MA equals CA. So we have that as that. Now, talking about diverger, as somebody has asked, now, according to what we have here, talking about converger and diverger, there's something we need to first get. Converger and diverger, they are both what we call intelligent test. You use converger, that converger, intelligence, intelligent test. We have converger and diverger, intelligence test. We have converger and we have diverger. For people who are in the classroom, I think we treated this in the classroom. When we talk about converger and diverger, there are two styles of reasoning. You know, both now, they are styles of reasoning. Intelligent test, converger and diverger, they are both styles of reasoning. Now, to describe these two, we are going to use a scenario. Now, when we talk about converger, using the scenario of a boy. Now, boy who is substantially better at intelligent tests than an open. Now, talking about converger now and diverger. Now, intelligent test. Now we have open-ended. Now, if Mr. Jolas, if you can hear me, if you remember, then when we talk about open-ended tests, when we talk in questionnaire, in my questionnaire, we have different types of form of questionnaires. Some questionnaires are close-ended, and some questionnaires are open-ended. Now, when we talk about close, this is more of intelligent test. Now is more of a close-ended questionnaire, meaning that you that are making the researcher, you already have, the answer, your question is a yes or no. Is Ajegule to my 5 kilometers, yes or no? That's an intelligent test. But when we talk about the open-ended is when you give your respondents the freedom to use their discretion. Now, to bring that here, intelligent test, converger and diverger, they are both styles of reasoning. And under this converger, here, the questions under this converger, they are more of intelligent questions, just as I have used the explanation of the close-ended questions. Intelligence question, it says that you are not expected to use your discretion. It's either you know it or you don't know it. Close-ended. But open-ended here, exactly. Close-ended already have the results. So it's not left for you to know it or not. If you know it, you get it right. If you don't know it, you fail it. That is why it is called intelligence test. It is to test your IQ. But open-ended, you are allowed to use your discretion. So I can compare in this case, then I can compare that a type of close-ended questions are this is your CBT exam that you are writing, and this one is on pen on paper. Who asked that question? Let me even check who asked the question again. Mr. Zako. So do you understand now? Mr. Zako, hope you understand. So converger, they do well with intelligent tests. Diverger do well with open-ended, and these intelligent tests are more of close-ended, which we can compare to. Let's bring it down to our level now. Our computer-based exam is close-ended. It is garbage in, garbage out. If you don't know it, if you put the wrong answer, you cannot guess. You can guess the one that has objective, but some objectives, if you don't know the answer, you don't know it. But pen on paper now, if you are given questions, even though you don't know the answer, but if you know something's close or similar to the answer, you can be awarded some mark because you are allowed to write and use your discretion. So we have that and that. Okay, so back to our notes. Okay, so we have now in a situation whereby your intelligence level is above 100, then it's referred to as advanced IQ or advanced intelligence development. IQ when your IQ is greater than 100, is referred to as advanced intelligence development. Okay, so we have that as that. Now, nature versus but I believe we can hear me. Change writing is too small. I believe you can hear me. At least if you cannot see what I'm writing, I believe you can hear me. So now let's take this down. Now, dash is one of the longest running debates in psychology. Dash is one of the longest debates in psychology. That's a question for us to answer. What is the one of the longest debates in psychology? Let me use the opportunity to get something to drink. I feel dehydrated. So here is the question. I'm waiting for a response. Dash is one of the longest debates in psychology. Okay, why are the response not coming? What's going on? Awesome. I'm liking this. More response, please. All right. Yes. Thank you very much, Mr. Joseph, Miss Perky. I know that's Miss Perky. She's the one using that name. Okay. Awesome. Yes, that's the longest. One of the longest debates in psychology is nature versus nurture. N versus N. One of the longest debates in psychology. Very well. Thank you for that. That's a proof that we all are on the same page. Now, behavior. Okay, yes, it's you. Now, behavior results from interaction. Behavior results from interaction between genetic factors and the environment. Behavior interacts with behavior interaction. Behavior as a result of interaction between genetic factors and environment. Now, we also have every human being comes into this world with dash makeup. With dash makeup. Every human being 20. I hope my handwriting is bold enough now. Every human being I hope my handwriting is bold enough, comes into this world comes into this world with a dash makeup. Okay. Yes. So what is the answer? Every human being comes into this world with a dash makeup. So what's our answer? I need the responses to come. Miss Blessing, what is the problem? You sure you can't see my handwriting? Mr. Joseph, thank you. Mr. Joseph, can you see my handwriting? Mr. Jolas, can you see my handwriting? Is it too small still? Miss Perky, can you see my handwriting? Mr. Zako, you have not been responding. Miss Rejoice, what is going on? Miss Blessing, are you still with us? Who else? Miss Inkiru, are you still with us? Mr. David, are you still with us? Okay, I think that's all. Okay, Mr. Darlington, are you still with us? Mr. Daniel, are you still with us? Okay, awesome. Mr. Joy said yes, I'm here. Let me know that you are here by responding to questions, please. It has to be an interactive class. Okay, Mr. Joseph said yes, I can see. Okay, okay, let me respond to Miss Blessing. Miss Blessing, please, on your phone, if you are streaming this tutorial through your phone. Okay, oh, sorry about that. That's one thing we have to deal with as students of National Open University. You have to manage work with school. It's okay, you are excused. So okay, I'm trying to get the name. Okay, Miss Blessing. So on your phone, click on the screen, tap on the screen, then you see this button, this YouTube, this settings button on your screen. When you tap on the settings button, go to advanced option. Advanced option, you will see image video quality. Click on 720 or 460 at least. When you click on any of those two, it improves your video quality and you will see very clearly everything on the screen. Okay, so let's just move on. Thank you very much everyone for the answer. Everyone, definitely, everyone comes into the world with a genetic makeup. Awesome. So let's move on. Now, the combination of elements from both the mother and father forms a Thank you, you're welcome. The combination of elements from both the mother and the father form a new child. That is that for that. Now we have zygote splitting around the time of conception results in the formation of dash twins. Zygote splitting. Zygote splitting. Zygote. Zygote splitting. Zygote splitting around the time we need to increase our pace now. It's already past 9. Zygote splitting around the time of conception zygote splitting around the time of conception results in the formation of dash. In the formation of dash. That's a question for us to answer. Zanes. Okay, Mr. Jolas, what do you mean by Zanes? Zygote splitting during the time of conception result to the formation of dash. Zygote splitting. Okay, I'm giving us 5 seconds. 5 seconds to answer this. Zygote splitting. What does it do in the time of conception? Let's not forget we refer to zygote as fertilized egg. Fertilized egg cell that results from the union of a female and male egg, with the male sperm. So when the male sperm eats the female egg, it's this process that we refer to as a zygote process. So we have union of female egg and the male sperm. Okay, I'm getting some responses. All right. Okay, thank you very much. That's identical. Yes, thank you. That's the answer. Mr. Jolas, that's the answer. Identical. So we have to move at a very fast pace now. So just pay attention as I read out some points. So we have the first recognized book. Awesome, yeah. The first recognized book on psychology was written by Dash and published in the year 1890. Now the very first, I'm going to leave this one for us to answer. The very first book in psychology to be recognized was written by who? Who wrote the very first book that was recognized in psychology? In 1890. Any answer? Okay, let me check the comment section. Okay. Oh, good. Yes, not bad. Okay, but you have to put his name in full. It has to be in full. William what, please? What's the name in full? Okay, I'm getting some good responses. The name has to be in full. Okay, I'm getting some good responses. Or may I have the name in full? For the fact that you even know that it's Williams, you've done a great job. You've done a great job. For the fact that you know that the name is William, you've done a great job. Thank you very much for the response. It's a good thing to know that we all are preparing for this exam. It's a very good thing to know, because I can, from the trend and the way we are responding to questions, it's a clear sign that we all are getting set for the exam. It's a good thing to know, and that gives me happiness. My happiness is that you all do well in this exam. You all come out in flying colors. That is my happiness. That's what makes me proud. Awesome, William James. So we have that as that. Thank you everyone that participated. William James. And for as many of those participated too, thank you very much. So now, to move at a very fast pace, I'm just going to bring out the points, then we all pay attention, please. Now we have the person that founded the first laboratory devoted to experimental psychology is Wilhelm Wundt. I think I remember this question. Wilhelm Wundt. Wilhelm Wundt. Wilhelm Wundt is the first person to the founder of a laboratory devoted to experimental psychology. The name Wilhelm Wundt, I beg your pardon. Now, the first laboratory developed to experimental psychology was established in Leipzig. Leipzig. The first laboratory devoted to experimental psychology was established in Leipzig. Leipzig. Yes. So we have the concept and birth of psychology was in the year 1879. Concept, birth of psychology, birth of psychology. 18 what? The birth of psychology is about 1879, about 100 years ago. 1879. So we have that as that. Now, the behaviorist who spent a great deal of time to study behavior condition is who we refer to as B.F. Skinner. B.F. Skinner is the behaviorist that spent a lot of time, good time, in observing behavior. B.F. Skinner. Behaviorists. So we have a few more questions to go and we are done. Yes, thank you very much for that, Mr. Jolas. Now, the behaviorists believe that environmental factors reinforces behavior. Behaviorist believes that environmental factors reinforces behavior. So we have that as that. Now, the psychodynamic perspective believes that human behavior is stemmed from inherited instincts. Psychodynamic perspective. I don't want to write on the board again because we are actually out of time and I'm trying to rush things. Please just pay attention to what I say, and you can as well come back to this stream to get anything you didn't get. Now, psychodynamic perspective believes that human behavior is stemmed from inherited instinct. So we have the psychodynamic is linked to the writing of Sigmund Freud. Sigmund Freud, psychodynamic. Sigmund Freud, psychodynamic. So we have just like B.F. Skinner, behaviorist. So let's put that in mind. Okay, so we have one of the scientific method of research in psychology is survey. The cognitive psychology is primarily concerned with thinking. So we have just a few more questions to go. Now, identical twins results from a splitting of the zygotes around the time of conception, which refers to as the zygotes. The zygotes. Let's not mix that up. The zygotic, I beg your pardon, is okay, it's the zygotic. Yeah. So identical twins resulted from splitting of zygotes around the time of conception, which is referred to as the zygotic. So we have dash as that, and we have the last two questions. Now, the scholar who believes that learning is the central process of understanding human being is Lindgren. Lindgren is a scholar that believes that learning is the central process of understanding human being. And the last question we have, the structured questionnaire and the results are structured to statistical analysis. So thank you very much, everyone. It's been a great time. Thank you for sticking around. So we agree that just 103 has been moved to the next class, which is next tomorrow. And tonight by 10 p.m. we are taking MTH. So thank you very much, everyone. I look forward to seeing you by 10. Bye.